Hey guys, CardTech710 here, coming at you with another video. Thought we'd try something different this time. I actually didn't post a video recapping my 2018 pickups, and I've really enjoyed watching other people's 2018 recap videos. But the thing I enjoyed about those videos the most is people sharing their wanted lists, what cards they want to look for in 2019. And also the various shout outs they give to other YouTube users, so I kind of thought I'd do the same. So for 2019, my New Year's resolution was to focus more on vintage cards, specifically rookies of Hall of Famers, and I'm also starting to dabble in T206s. I don't want to obsess anymore on non-rookies cards being necessarily an investment grade, which is what I used to do. A good example is I recently picked up this 1952 Burke Ross Ted Williams in a PSA 4.5. Ordinarily, I probably would have went for a PSA 6, 7, or 8, but this one's just beautifully centered. Anyone that's ever bought a Burke Ross knows that to get one of these things centered is definitely a challenge. I wanted Ted Williams specifically because in 1952 there are no Bowman Ted Williams and there's no Topps Ted Williams, so this is pretty much the only card in 1952 of Ted Williams, unless you want to count the 1952 Redman Tobacco box top. But buying the card and not the grade and going for eye appeal is a prime example of that. I also don't want to prospect players. I wasted a lot of money in the past 2 years buying prospect cards, only for them to now sit in the box. And some of these players have already stopped playing. So really, it really pays to be more patient and just to wait to see how the player turns out that year and maybe pick up a card at the tail end of the year. Ronald Acuna and Juan Soto and Gleyber Torres is great examples. If I would have waited to the end of the year and gone for their key rookies, I spent a lot of money going for some of their other rookie cards, and they have a ton of them. I also want to be more selective on what I submit to PSA. They've raised their prices, so it works out to be about $22 a card now to get graded, unless you take advantage of like one of their bulk orders. But I don't want to submit like a $3 card just in order to qualify for a bulk order, because then I get a card encased that cost me, $9 to $10 to encase, yet the card itself was only worth $3 to begin with, so it's really not worth it. That includes my personal collection of Jeters as well. If I can find encased Jeters, great, but otherwise top loaders or photos for the album are just fine. I don't plan on reselling them. They're just for my own collection. I'm not going to buy graded cards of the Seahawks and Mariners anymore. Value-wise, they're like the Dead Sea. No one in the country seems to want to care, aside from Seahawks fans, about Seahawks and Mariners. I'm going to look for different ways to cushion or avoid the eBay sales tax. That includes going to more shows. I also am going to be more diligent. Something that is actually really good. I formerly, like my wife, she'll compare prices and do her research, whereas me, if I see something and I want it, I just pay for it. And it's actually a bad habit. I've probably wasted a lot of money that way. So the sales tax has actually forced me to be a little bit more aggressive and reaching out to sellers and asking for like a modest discount to compensate for the sales tax. So it's actually good. It's saving me some money. I'm going to be showing videos on my PWCC vault. I have made my first PWCC vault purchase where I bought a card on eBay, and instead of sending it to my home, I actually sent it directly to my vault at PWCC's headquarters in Oregon, which is a tax-free state. And I think the threshold that I'm going to use to send items to the vault is anything that's above $2,000. That saves me at least $200 whenever I do that. And I'm also starting to dabble in more non-sports cards, and I could possibly be doing some videos on that in the future for anyone that's interested. I am a relative collecting newbie. I've only been collecting again since August of 2017. I used to collect when I was younger from about 1990 till about mid-1993, and 99% of the cards I used to collect are pretty much worthless, but still, it was a good lesson because when I got into collecting again, it I started to buy cards that I couldn't afford back when I was younger. And most of my education to start learning how to collect in this day and age was from like these two books here, The Sports Legends Hobby Guide and 300 Great Cards by Beckett. But I'd much rather watch YouTube videos versus read. That applies pretty much to anything. And that brings me to my shout outs, because you guys have been instrumental in my re-education of modern day collecting. One of the first videos I watched that I really enjoyed was from Foo3112. He's very particular who he collects. He's a big Jose Canseco fan. He's a Roger Maris fan, Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente, and he gets cards that are all in high grade, including vintage. So his videos are kind of infrequent because he saves and reserves his funds for choice items, meaning he may not be doing any pickups recently because he's saving his money for that big ticket purchase. And when he does, I mean, they're absolutely, like, if he gets a PSA 8, it's a stellar PSA 8 in whatever card he chooses to get. Dead Guy Cardboard, I call him the T206 Authority. Love watching his videos. Not really sure where he gets all of his information, but I'm appreciative of the fact that he does, because it saves me the diligence and reading websites and forums and stuff. His videos are very informative. I watch his videos with notes in hand, and I picked up a lot of cards as a result of his recommendations. He also has a great Barry Larkin personal collection with a lot of rare inserts. New York Yankees Fan 7. I know a lot of you have now subscribed to my channel as a result of his recommendation, and I really appreciate it. My collection is very similar to his. He's got a better broad base baseball collection because he knows more baseball history than I do, but love watching his stuff. I also watch his video with notes in hand, and I picked up a lot of cards as a result of his sharing of his cards. He's got a great series called Friday Night Vintage. I really look forward to those, and I'm kind of disappointed on Friday nights when he doesn't post one, but he also has Friday Night Comics, which I actually had to stop watching because it would make me want to collect comics again, something I told my wife that I wouldn't. That card is enough. And he started a new one called Friday Night Filthy, which seems to showcase some of his modern pickups. Also, just great pickups every time. He's got probably the best Mickey Mantle collection, in my opinion. It's second to none. He's got a Mickey Mantle card from every year of Mantle's career. His Nolan Ryan collection is also quickly gathering attention, and I love when he shows his man cave, because his man cave has cards, comics, and Star Wars memorabilia. And when I say memorabilia, I mean like movie quality, movie prop quality. A lot of money in that Star Wars collection. And he also collects vintage video games. Silver Jackify, love his channel. I don't watch all of his videos because he does a lot of things like pack breaks, and but like when he does, I love when he shows his cards, and his collection can only be made, I think, through decades of collecting. He's been collecting since he was a kid. You name the card, and he's probably got a copy of it. He's got a 1949 Bowman Jackie Robinson, just a gorgeous card that is on my want list. He's got a display case to die for, and it was constantly changing, but what he's doing now is he's trying to make a showcase of T206s, which I'm starting to dabble in now, so I'm sure I'll be watching his videos as he shares those, as he builds it. And his enthusiasm is just infectious. I love his enthusiasm. You can tell he's a true hobbyist. And that brings me to Topps 85401. Nate has got a similar enthusiasm and also an extensive collection. Nate does videos with his buddy Eric, and they're called the Baseball Card Junkies TV channel, which I also watch. And after I watch these guys, seriously, I just want to shop or organize my collection. And Nate's also got a great series called Barry Bonds, or basically it's the Road to 5,000, which I'm sure is, he seems to have every Barry Bonds card like ever made, which, over the course of Barry Bonds' career is a lot. Blue Jacket 66, I credit him for having what I call the museum collection. I don't watch all of his videos because they're sickening. And not that they're without great content, they're phenomenal content, but it's just his, he likes rare, quirky cards that, of course, cost a lot of money. Like he's got the 1949 Bowman Master Set in a high grade, and the 49 Bowman, for those that know, has the Jackie Robinson rookie, Satchel Paige rookie, Duke Snider rookie, and the Roy Campanella, not to mention the Stan Musial second-year card, which is really nice. He's also got a copy of the 33 DeLong Lou Gehrig, which is like one of those holy grail cards that very few people have because they're so expensive and they're so rare. Baseball collector, Mike. He's got a serious man cave that I love watching his videos on those. He's actually got a Berg display case, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's like one of those display cases that are on like a conveyor belt, like a Ferris wheel that you see in like coin collecting shops. Don't know where he got that. I'm sure from a coin collecting shop, but and he's also got this amazing shelf that he made that houses some of his PSA graded cards and this a lot of his magnet holders. He's got an amazing Hall of Fame autograph collection. It's just great videos and tips on the National, and I refer to him as the godfather of YouTube, and it's not because of his age, it's because I think he's been on YouTube longer than most, and as a result his video series has all kinds of topics from the National to collecting, just to talking shop and talking with and about fellow YouTubers, which I really find interesting. Ray from Philly, great videos, another amazing man cave, and he's got multiple display cases that I highly recommend you watch his videos. He's also got an amazing Mike Schmidt personal collection. Another guy's videos that I like is Diamond Yard Sports Cards, notably his Jackie Robinson collection, which a couple of those cards are on my want list. And lately I've been listening to Miko's Hobby Talk podcast. I really enjoy those, and he's got great guests. So what am I looking for in 2019? First is the 51 Bowman Willie Mays rookie. I've been on the lookout for that for quite some time. PSA 3 or higher would be ideal. I've been on the lookout also for a 63 Topps Pete Rose rookie. I've narrowly missed out on a couple of auctions of the Pete Rose rookie. I'd like to get it in a PSA 6 or higher, but if the centering's right, I'd take a 5.5. A T206 Bill O'Hara St. Louis, I'd take that in any grade, including authentic. 38 Gaudy Joe DiMaggio rookie. I don't have any Joe DiMaggios, so I'd love to get his rookie in a PSA 4 or higher. I'd like to upgrade my 54 Hank Aaron rookie. I have a PSA 4 currently, but I'd love a 5. But really on the list of this, that really is the lowest on my priority because I want to pick up some of these other players first before I think about upgrading the Hank Aaron rookie. Lou Gehrig, I don't have a Lou Gehrig, so 33 Gaudy or a 34 Gaudy. Either one, each one has 2 different Gehrig cards in there. Also his 1925 exhibits, which many believe is his actual rookie card. It's really just a black and white photo, but if I can find one, if I can afford it, I'd love a copy of that. 39 play ball Ted Williams rookie in a PSA 5 or higher. I would go as low as 4.5. Very difficult to find centered, so that's one I definitely want. I don't have any Jackie Robinson's cards, so 49 Bowman would be ideal, but I'd also settle for the 52 Topps, which is another very expensive card, very difficult to find centered. And I would like a Shoeless Joe Jackson, but I'm not really sure which one because they're all so expensive. But I would like to have a Shoeless Joe Jackson in my collection of some kind. You notice on here that I just added a red check mark next to the Willie Mays rookie. It's because Willie Mays rookie was the first card that I actually purchased that I had sent to my PWCC vault in Oregon, so therefore it wasn't taxed. And I was going to show you guys when PWCC gets it. This may go a little fast, so they scan it and then they assess it and evaluate it, but you have visibility, high quality resolution, and look at the centering on this, which is why I got it, even though it's a 2.5 instead of a 3. Front and back, it's still in the midst of being assessed, in which case they have their own grades if the eye appeal meets their certification guidelines. So their logic being is not all 2.5s are graded the same. Some look better than others, and as a result, they bring a higher price than others. And also they, on here, it says portfolios, is they plan on adding up the cards you have in your vault and given the fair market value. They're going to assess the value as when you log in, you'll actually see the dollar amount your collection's worth, which I think is pretty cool. Plus it's insured and it's in a vault, so it's not ideal because I don't get the cards in hand, but at least this way it's kind of like seeing your loved one in jail, I guess. But it is safe and it's insured and it's tax-free. So for now, it's gonna do. And that's me with Deadpool at Seattle's Comic-Con. So here's to good 2019 to everybody. I'd like to thank all those that subscribe to my channel. I appreciate your comments. I've enjoyed sharing cards with you guys immensely. And I've only been doing it for probably about 5 or 6 months, but it's really been a lot of fun. In the Seattle area, my complaint was I didn't really know of any other friends or groups that collected cards that I could talk shop with, but recently another fellow YouTuber that's starting his own channel has reached out to me that lives around here. His name is Jeremy from Base 1986. So check out his channel. He's got a nice introduction video. He's actually from Brooklyn, so it's pretty cool. And you can tell by his introduction video that he's very passionate, enthusiastic about the hobby and with sharing cards on YouTube. So take a look when you get a chance. Sorry, I got a little pop-up here. Until next time, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. And oh, by the way, my name is Dane, for anyone who ever wants to know. And until next time, thanks for watching.